welcome to a new episode of ETRetail Café by ETRetail. We are in season 3 and today we have a very special guest with you. We have with us today MD and CEO of Versuni, Gulbahar Taurani. Welcome to ETRetail Café.
Thank you very much. Good morning and thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
So tell me how your journey in retail started. First of all, let us dig something in your family background. How has your family background been? What inspired you to be a part of CDIT specifically in retail?
Okay, so I think, as far as my family goes, my background goes, my father was working with BHEL, Bhopal, which is Bharat Electricals, and there is no relation to retail. So it was heavy electrical to retail. However, my uncles were in business, and that's where I learned little bit during my childhood itself about retail. And then I have a very interesting story to share with all of you. That since my father was with a heavy engineering company, if I look around, everyone was an engineer or was about to become an engineer. So my father said, and I was a good student. I used to play table tennis at that point of time. I was good at studies. So he asked me why don't I pursue medical instead of engineering? And here I was. I said, okay, yeah, fine, fair enough. And then I failed pre-medical exam twice. And my father said, yeah, but this is not working. I said, yeah, this is not working. And that's when, an idea from my father came. He said, why don't you open up a retail shop? And at the age of 18 almost, my first venture into retail started with a small shoe shop. So that was open for me. I was managing it. So I was the salesperson. I was procurement. I was managing accounts. I was doing the cleaning, everything. So it was a one-man show. But trust you me, that was the foundation of me as far as retail is concerned. That's where I realized that good that I didn't get through to medical. I would have been a bad doctor. That's my reflection now. What comes naturally to me is numbers, consumer, marketing, retail, all those things. And I was very excited. And that's where I landed as far as my first experience with retail is concerned.
So how long did you do that?
I did it for 4 years.
And what forced you to change the direction then?
No, actually that cemented the direction, saying I want to pursue business. And what it was a very controlled environment, I would say, because it was a small retail shop. I was getting help from my uncles, from my father. What I wanted to understand is a larger scope of business. And that's where, while I was doing my retail shop, I was pursuing my graduation. So I used to do morning graduation classes. Then for the full day, I was at the retail shop. During that tenure, I started pursuing for an MBA exam. Then I wrote an MBA entrance and came to MBA. So the whole idea of going to a management school was the basic belief that now this is where I feel I can do something. And this is where I want to know more, study more before I, jump into a full-fledged sort of a business professional.
And then you shifted to corporate world.
Yes. Yes. And I think, what happened was very, very simple. MBA, when you do an MBA, and it was the early years of MBA, where we realized that, one of the things that we need to do is need to have a little more in terms of, how organizations work and how do you get that exposure. You get those exposures through various projects that you do. And I was lucky that I got a project with BPL during my MBA time. And I really liked the electronics industry as such. And then I did my summer internship in electronics. And then I decided that I want to be in electronics. Fortunately, Videocon visited our MBA institute for campus. I was selected. And that's how the journey in electronics started.
So what fascinated you about electronics at that point of time?
Yeah, I think if you look into it, the way technology was changing at that point of time also, the household penetration. Okay, so electronics was both retail, a little bit of glamour, technology. So I see why I still believe that I am in the right industry is because first, it is not easier. I can tell you because you look at it, you use a soap. Now you are my consumer after 15 days, 1 month, 3 months, right? But when you buy a mixer grinder, if I don't acquire you when you are buying the mixer grinder, the next opportunity that I will get would be after 5 years, 7 years. So it's a difficult industry. So you always, it keeps you agile always. Second, it has a technology angle. Okay. So what is relevant today may be obsolete tomorrow. So you need to always need to invent and innovate with technology. So it has a technology angle. And the third most important thing is it also has a consumer education angle. So look at air purifiers, right? We all know about pollution, but we only react when the outdoor pollution is bad. While, as organizations, we are trying to communicate with our consumers saying even indoor air is not as good as you want. And here is a solution called air purifiers. You use that, and at least when you are inside your home, you are breathing clean air, which is very good for your health. That fascinates me. It tells me that I can talk to the consumer more, I can engage with the consumer more.
So, a consumer at that point of time when you started your career to now, how have you seen the consumer behavior changing?
I think consumer at the heart of it remains a consumer, right? So consumer will say this is what I want, or consumer will say this is what I don't want. Sometimes the needs are so obvious that they are articulated very well. Sometimes they themselves don't know what they really want. So from the core of it, the consumer remains the same. However, the way the consumer reacts to how you communicate, what you bring to them has evolved a lot. So I would say consumer is much more aware of not only the propositions available locally, but also globally. The consumer is much more confident about the choices that they want to make. And the consumer is also very self-reliant today. So the whole idea of, I need someone else endorsement in terms of what I want to buy is now no more relevant. So people are confident, they are more aware, they know what they like or dislike. What they want or not is still the core, but what they like or dislike, they are very open the way you communicate to them. So it is becoming exciting because it is becoming much more challenging. So I think core remains the same, but the reactions have completely changed. So it's not the same consumer, it feels like, which I used to talk 20-25 years back.
But you have decoded the consumer behavior very beautifully, Gulbahar.
Coming from you, it's I would pass on the compliment to the team, because it is not me. I think it's the entire team. And the only thing I can share with you is we keep on grounding ourselves, saying, are we close to consumers, or are we a little aloof to the consumer? Because see, it happens very I would say not intentionally, but it just happens, you don't even realize. And that is why we keep bringing this question to ourselves again and again. Are we really listening to the consumers? Are we really close to them? Do we have any blind spots? So this is some of the checks and balances, but the credit goes to the team.
See, the way you have understood the consumers, but I'm very sure there might be some challenges that you'll be facing at this point of time, and they must be different from what they would have been there at the starting of your career. So, what were the challenges at that point of time, and what challenges as MD and CEO of Versuni you face today?
I think the challenges at that point of time was, I can start with the basics of supply chain. I think it was difficult to get the availability across the country. Fast forward to today, I think supply chain of the country has become much more robust. There were only few vehicles to reach to the consumers. Okay. Today there are very and many platforms through which you can reach to the consumer. So that's the first. The second thing which has changed from when I started and where we are today is the way to communicate with the consumers. So again, it was very limited, and it was one way. Okay. Yeah. So you can say whatever you want to the consumer. You really don't know how they are reacting or receiving it. And even when you know about it, it is quite late in the journey. Today, the number of platforms have increased. So the way you communicate with the consumer has also changed, and it is not one way, it is two way. So you can actually have a conversation with the consumer. So that's the second biggest change. The third big change that I see from the consumer to today is the belongingness of the consumer. See, today, at that point of time, the consumers were looking at the organizations to say whatever they wanted to say, or, because there were, I would say, a little bit of lack of awareness and also a little bit of lack of confidence. Today, if you ask how it has changed, is the consumer really wants to hear the purpose and the story of your organization, then see whether it appeals to them or not, whether they find something of them in that story or that purpose. Now that's a very big change. Very easily said, very difficult to execute, but that's the reality. Okay, nobody wants to associate today with the brand just because it's a brand. They really want to know what the brand stands for. Okay, how does that standing of the brand and them is coming together? What's the purpose of the organization? These are three most important shifts that I have seen from a consumer point of view. Okay, and all these shifts. So people normally ask, but you are not talking about technology. I think technology is the backbone of it. These shifts have happened because of the technology, but that has almost become hygiene.
But challenges you faced right now, you didn't answer that, Gul.
So I think right now the challenges are multifold. Okay, and the challenges, that the first and the foremost challenge that we face today is how do we get the educated awareness amongst the consumers. So we don't want consumers to buy our appliances. We want consumers to use our appliances. Okay.
Yeah.
Because we really want. So take for example an air fryer. Okay. I don't want consumers to just buy an air fryer because now air fryer has become a trend. Okay. When I launched air fryer in 2012, people used to say, "Arey, ye chalega kya?" And today everyone wants an air fryer. But now my job is that not only you buy an air fryer, but you use it, because that's how you have your favorite fried food without oil. Okay, that's how we are contributing to your health. That's how we are contributing to your convenience. So this is my challenge. So it is almost like change in habit, but you are used to your old way of cooking. Okay, I'm not saying that's not great, that's important, but at the same time, I really want the consumers to actually make air fryer as an integral part of their cooking system. Now that's the challenge. Okay,
Are these are smart ways of cooking?
see, this is another challenge. I don't want to say old, smart, and all. That's why I say, see, this is a cooking method. Right now, I really want the consumer, and this is what we are trying to do, is to make their own evaluation, saying, okay, what does I get out of the system? Do I fry without oil? Yes. Is it convenient? Yes. Is it safe? Yes. Is it more time consuming? No. Now these are the evaluations that I need to. But see, it's almost like our natural reflexes, right? So when you don't know driving, okay, you feel, we really don't know when we will get to learn driving. But today we drive almost as if like it comes naturally to us. So once you are hooked or used to a particular way of cooking, then it is difficult, after knowing even the benefits of it, to switch to a new way of cooking, sort of a thing. Smart or not, I would just say it is more convenient and more healthy today. So this is one big challenge that we need to overcome. Consumer habit change is not easy, right? So that we realize, because we ourselves are consumers of many products. So that's the biggest challenge that we are trying to do. The second challenge, I would say, is also looking at the global perspective. Okay, saying things are very rapidly changing. What was relevant yesterday is not relevant today, and everyone is just putting their best foot forward in terms of what would be relevant tomorrow. Now, in this dynamic geopolitical space, okay, how do we ensure that we not only develop products and manufacture products for Indian consumers, but for the global consumers? Because whenever there is a change, I always find an opportunity in that change. So that's my biggest second biggest challenge that I find, that in this dynamic world, what is in it, because I sense opportunity. I don't find it as a challenge. It's dynamic, so it's not dynamic for me, it's dynamic for everyone. So resilient one will find an opportunity in that. Weaker one will find it challenging. I would put it that way. That's the second. And the third challenge is definitely talent. It is not easy nowadays to actually ensure that you not only engage with the talent but get the best out of them and provide them an environment which is conducive to them for work. For it is something that organizations have to keep reflecting upon, keep making changes quickly. See, because talent, aspirations, expectations, what they want is also changing very, very fast. So these are the three big challenges that.
Will you understand your challenges? You understand how to find a way out of them. But there must be one career changing decision you must have taken which actually changed the career path for yourself. Or maybe it was the toughest decision of your career. What was that?
So I think one I shared with you, I could have, after failing pre-medical exam, could have kept studying and maybe in some, but I think that was one which I would say more than me, my father took for me and said, yeah, we should open up a shop for you, and that grounded me into retail. But after joining the corporate world, I think my shift from sales and marketing is the biggest career change that I have experienced, leveraged, and enjoyed the most. And I share with you why. I think when you are doing great in sales, sales is something which is still very, very close to my heart. So people still say I am more of a salesman than a business leader, and I take that as a compliment. But my whole idea was like, sales is a great adrenaline rush. Numbers, it is all objective. There is no subjectivity. Either you are there or you are not. You are not there. In that particular moment, when my senior suggested to have a holistic view of the value chain, that looking at it, that how you find the consumer insights, convert it into a proposition, take the proposition to the consumers back, make it successful. Now it's a holistic experience, so you get to touch every part of the value chain. I think if I wouldn't have done marketing, I would have never learned that. So that's where I think I will always advise all the youngsters to do both sales, marketing. I was very, very fortunate. Then afterward, I got a glimpse of supply chain, R&D and all that. That I would say is my luck. Okay, very few people. But if you are a sales and marketing professional, get both sides of the world. It is absolutely important.
So you have tasted every bit of the supply chain, maybe the chain to run the company specifically. And this is the reason where you are.
I would say it's God's being kind and the company has been kind that I got all those opportunities.
So while you were getting trained, Gul, during those days, three things you learned at that point of time, and you still follow them, and you are imparting to your the next generation of entrepreneurs. Which are those three things which actually help you shape as an entrepreneur?
I think the first one is discipline. Nobody, I think we have just discounted discipline, but I think without discipline, yeah, and I can share this with you with a few of the examples. Yeah. I am a trained table tennis player. Okay. The first thing that I was trained upon was discipline of fitness. And when I say fitness, because of the stamina. Okay. You need to have that much of stamina to stay and play a 2 hours, 3 hours long match or game or something like that. Now that comes only through discipline. So we were so disciplined that yes, early morning 4 o'clock we have to start the day. That means we have to start the day. Now that's one that I would like to say. And second, if you look into my professional journey also after joining corporate, even till date, I follow that, I ask that if this is my office timing, then I have to be in office at a particular time. Why? Because you start your day comfortably, you are not starting the day with saying, oh, I am late for a meeting. First, I need to apologize, or I don't know what people would be thinking. So you are actually out of that tension of what people are thinking about you. And that is why discipline plays a very important role in terms of what you do. The second is openness to learning. Okay, a lot of people say, we learn every day. If I am not learning, it's not the day. I don't know how many people are even open to learning. Very soon in our lives and in our careers, we start believing that we know it all and we have arrived. And I am not saying that's wrong or something like that. That's very natural to human beings. Now, how do you surround yourself with people who keep reminding you that it's okay? Celebrate what you have achieved, but don't rely on that, because what is yours today will be someone else tomorrow. So you need to move forward. I think it is important for us. It keeps us humble. Also, and I will share with you. I just shared with you that I moved from sales to marketing. When I moved to sales to marketing, actually I realized I don't know marketing. Okay, from outside it looks very easy, right? You say, yeah, fine. You have to go and get an opportunity to create some glamorous ads, this, that. No, marketing is much beyond that and much above that. I would say, open enough, and I moved at a senior position. I didn't started my career as a product junior person. So I had a team under me which was junior to me. I learned my entire marketing from them. But I was able to learn from them is first, I was able to recognize that they are better than me in many aspects. So I had a barter deal with them. I said, you learn this from me and I learn this from you. So they were also open. I was also open. And I still, whenever they are there, I always say, I learned marketing from the gentleman or the lady. There is no harm in that. It always tells you, you are out of burden and you are open to learning. That's the second thing. And the third thing that I would say, which has helped me, is I haven't followed or copied anyone. Okay. Now, while you are growing, you are always being given this little bit of tips. Look at this, look at that, do a little bit of networking, this, that. If it comes naturally to you, of course. If it doesn't come naturally to you, don't force yourself into it, because what happens is you lose a bit of you. And if you are losing a bit of you, then you will always find it difficult to be original or authentic or something like that. And that is why I would say I have not followed or copied anyone. I have learned a lot from both my seniors and from my juniors, but I didn't try to copy or follow them. So these are the three things that I would like to people to.
Wonderful thoughts. I love the way you have put it forward and explained to the consumers over here and the people who are following you and the series. But I want to understand, while hiring the talent, are these three qualities that you look forward to while hiring, or there are some other qualities that you look for?
No, I think discipline is hygiene for me, right? Discipline is important. But end of the day, if you are an expert, but you are not following discipline, I am okay with that. Why? Because when I am hiring, I am not hiring people like me. I am trying to hire people who have the basic attitude right. Because see, if there is an attitude problem, it is very difficult to solve that. But I am also trying to see that how diverse we as a group we are. Until and unless we are not diverse, we will not create. We will only execute. For creativity, it is important that there is diversity of thought. Not only diversity in one dimension, but diversity in every dimension. So at end of the day, when I am looking at attitude of people, then of course these three things in terms of how is the openness to learning, what is the basic person around in terms of discipline and all, and the last bit which I always say is you when you hire, you can judge that much. You are hiring people, and there are no good or bad people. There is good or bad fitment. So if you realize that the fitment is not there, then I am being also very open and transparent to my talent and saying, you are great, but maybe what we want and what you bring on the table is not matching.
Well, we have discussed a lot many things, but when it comes to technology, have you ever feared, what if technology takes your job? What will you do?
I think technology can only enhance and make me more valuable, correct? See, there is a lot of talk around technology will take jobs and all and everything. and I am not a, I would say, philosopher, or I am not a person who has done a very long. But look at it. When I started my career in 2000s, technology was limited. There were fewer jobs. Okay. Today, technology, we all believe, is evolving every day. There are more jobs. So, is technology taking away the jobs, or technology creating more jobs? It's how you keep yourself relevant. Okay. Yes, technology will take my job if I am not relevant for today and for future. If I keep myself agile and have that mindset of learning and adapt, what is important for me to execute my job in the best desired way, I think technology is going to create more jobs than taking away the jobs. Because I am sharing with you, you can check the data. I started my career in 2000, 2001. There were lesser jobs than what we have today, and there was less impact of technology then than what we have today.
So how are you using technology to take Versuni ahead?
I think in every aspect of business, the way we talk to consumers, the way we manage our supply chain, the way we innovate our products, the way we manufacture, okay, and the way we manage even our internal talent and the admin of the office. And let me give you an example of that. See, look at the way we talk to consumers. Okay, so today we are talking. I am here to talk to you, but this is also a platform to talk to my consumers. Okay, so those who would listen to this may figure out something about Versuni, may find, as I said, it is important for consumers to see what is the fabric of an organization and whether they can relate with that organization or not. It's an opportunity for me. It's because of technology. Okay, look at it. When I say air purifiers, air fryers, you are not an expert cook. No problem. Okay, we have the digital gadgets which will actually help you look at the recipe that you want, and you have to just at a press of button you will get the recipe absolutely mastered. That's technology. But where I find that we should not go overboard on technology is like, technology for no use is not good. So technology in use is good, and that is what we are trying to do.
5 years from now, where do you see Versuni?
I think we are the thought leaders of the market today, and 5 years down the line, we want to even strengthen that position from a position point of view, because we are really, really particular about what are we doing for the consumers. So how are we making their lives better? And that's why we want to stay as thought leaders. And second, 5 years down the line, I want Versuni to be in more Indian homes, because we have some of the solutions which makes people's life much more easier.
I hope you keep on making people's life more easier going ahead as well. Thank you so much, Gulbahar. It was a pleasure talking to you. But before we wrap it up, I want to have a rapid fire with you, where I will not give you a chance to think about it.
You didn't give me the chance even now to think about anything.
So tell me, one retailer or retail brand that you admire a lot and why?
Vijay Sales. I think homegrown, absolutely fantastic.
If not in retail, what you would have been doing?
If not in retail, I think I would have been a sports coach.
Any business book that you have read, and what have you learned from that?
So what brought you here will not take you there. I think its simple message is stay agile. What was relevant yesterday will not be relevant tomorrow.
And if we talk about, everybody knows that you are the man running the show at Versuni. What do you do in your free time?
I prefer walking a lot. Okay, I still, so it's Bollywood music, Bollywood movies, spending time with my daughter, and now I have a pet at home, and also walking. So walks is something is essential to my daily routine.
Any advice that you would love to give to the budding generation who are trying to build brands for India?
I think I would say to people who are trying to build brands for India, see, business, whether you have your own money or you have someone else's money, okay, treat the money very, very carefully as an asset which is not easy to get, and try to make money out of money. That's how brands and businesses grow. See, today you have access to money, tomorrow you may not have. So when you have access to money, try to ensure that you make best use of that money.
Grow that money. Thank you so much, Gul. It was a pleasure talking to you.
It was a pleasure, and thank you very much. I really enjoyed our conversations. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys for watching this series. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please share it on your social media handles. We'll see you again next week. Till then, bye-bye.